Most people dream of owning a home, and for many it represents an escape from the burdens of rising rents and offers a path to accumulate wealth. But with the recent surge in prices and interest rates, there's a simple debate on if it's truly worth it right now. And you're not alone in thinking this. According to a recent survey by Fannie Mae, a staggering 82% feel that now might not be the right time to make the move. And while that's completely understandable, there's a more optimistic view suggesting that if your pockets allow, now actually might be a good time to buy. And here's why. Data from Zillow shows that during the fall of 2023, there's an increasing number of sellers slashing their asking prices. Specifically, 9.2% of listings experience a price cut in mid-September. In addition to this, potential buyers now have a wider selection of homes compared to previous years. And while property values might still be on the upward trajectory, with an expected rise of up to 5% by next August, there are specific reasons to buy today over next year. If we break this down into reasons to why you'd want to buy a home today, there's really 5 main reasons. The first would be that you're building equity right away and actually saving money. We know a home isn't just a place to live, it's really an investment. As you pay down your loan, you're increasing your home's equity. At the same time, as property values rise, which is, as we mentioned, 5% over the next year, your investment grows. So consider this, a $400,000 home today could appreciate up to $420,000 within the next year if that 5% holds true, translating to an impressive return on your investment and a more expensive home if you chose to buy it in a year. Next would be the stable payments that are provided when you close on a home. When you buy a home and opt for a fixed rate mortgage, you're building in consistency in your mortgage monthly payment. In contrast to renters who often have to deal with signing contracts for lengths of time that are followed up with yearly rent hikes. Third reason would be the fact that you're beating out the largest contingent of potential homebuyers that we've ever had in the United States, who are currently sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to drop. And you know, once they do drop in a few years, finding a home will be a challenge, let alone getting seller concessions or even an inspection, as those are the first things to go away in a seller's market. If you purchased, you'd simply be refinancing a home that you already own, taking advantage of those new rates. That being said, you obviously still have to be comfortable with the original payment that you would have closed on. And then another reason would be owning a home provides a lifestyle autonomy. As a homeowner, you're really in the driver's seat, whether it's adopting pets, cultivating a garden, parking whatever you really want in the driveway, or building that shed in the backyard. You set the rules as a homeowner. You won't get this type of freedom when you're renting. And for the final advantage, it's always worth mentioning the tax advantages. So our tax system favors homeowner deductions, and they're available in mortgage interest, property taxes, and even for implementing energy efficient upgrades. If you've got a tax guy, give him a ring and figure out what it would do for you. So clearly there are some big benefits to buying today, but we know it's not all roses, and there's going to be some thorns in there too. If we dive a little deeper in the housing landscape and the statistics, we'll see that. A notable 80% of buyers found themselves making compromises on their initial priorities, with 72% later voicing regrets about those purchases. There's even an emerging trend showing friends and families joining together more to purchase homes just to make it more affordable, as buyers must earn $115,000 annually to qualify for the typical home in the United States, which is $40,000 more than the average income. And it wouldn't be a negative section without mentioning the interest rates, as they're the highest they've been in over 20 years, with Freddie Mac reporting that the average rate for the benchmark 30-year fixed rate mortgage has hit 7.79%, and that's with discount points. Another negative is that canceled loans were at the highest rate in nearly a year, with 16.3% of home purchase agreements canceled in the last month. We're also simply in a supply and demand scenario with homes, where we won't even see that potential level out until 2028, 2029. So I'd expect homes to continue to appreciate over the next few years simply due to that. So if you're thinking that you're going to wait for homes to get cheaper, you might actually be waiting quite a while. Now, if we step back and think about the real estate market over the recent years, we know it has largely favored sellers, characterized by rapidly increasing home prices, limited inventory, and fierce competition among buyers. Now, weirdly enough, right now we're actually entering a small window where indicators suggest that we may be witnessing a shift to a buyer's market, though it will obviously be a short-term time frame, roughly the next 6 months or so. If we think of the factors that will come into play over the next 6 months to make it a buyer's market, we're going to see home price moderation, increased inventory, we'll see certain economic predictions come true, and then certain regional insights will also come true. With home price moderation, recent data indicates that home prices are beginning to decline gradually, though that same data showed that the 5% appreciation will happen by the end of the year. So this trend provides buyers with more affordable options in the short time frame here, with the reduced upward pressure on prices that we've seen in the past. With increased inventory, we know one of the defining features of a seller's market is limited inventory, but as more homeowners decide to list their properties and new build housing developments are completed, the inventory is expected to rise, giving buyers more choices and the ability to actually think about it. This increased inventory can also be seen in the time of market for homes, which shows an increase to what is deemed to be more normal length of time currently on the market. When we look at economic predictions, economists believe that as interest rates could still possibly increase into the winter, further decreasing the craziness of the demand observed over the last few years, we've seen a dramatic cooling down over the last month as rates have continually increased and we enter in the fall. This means that buyers will not face that same level of competition from other buyers, leading to a more balanced negotiation. And then using certain regional insight data, using Minnesota for example, it's already showing a major sign of this shift, with reports indicating that potential trends and price adjustments are now quite favorable to buyers. You'll even see listings prompting their seller concessions right away from the start in their listing descriptions. And if we were hoping for rates to fall in 2024 following this short buyer's market, as we know currently mortgage rates are soaring, with the 30-year fixed rate average surpassing 8% as of October 26. This, coupled with the rise of home prices, housing affordability is really a major concern. And while rates probably won't return to those pandemic or pre-pandemic levels for another decade, there's hope for some reduction in the near future. And if we want to look at it, here's how rates might actually decrease in 2024. The first reason would be Federal Reserve rate cuts. So mortgage rates have surged in the last 18 months, largely due to the Federal Reserve increasing federal interest rates multiple times. Reports suggest that the Fed might implement at least 2 rate cuts in 2024, which could lead to a slight dip in mortgage rates, potentially up to 0.5%. The second reason would be a decline in inflation. So the Fed's rate hikes have been in response to the rise in inflation, which peaked at over 9% in 2022. With inflation dropping to 3.7% in September of 23, further reductions might prompt the Fed to cut rates more than anticipated, obviously then benefiting consumers with reduced mortgage rates. The third reason would be the cooling of the job market. The robust job market, which just seems to be resilient, might see a downturn following its cyclical nature. A potential decrease in hiring could weaken the economy, potentially leading to a drop in mortgage rates. To sum it up, while current mortgage rates are considerably high, potential shifts in the economic indicators like inflation and the job market could offer some relief to homebuyers in 2024. But much like everything currently going on in the world, it's an ever-changing landscape, and it's essential for potential homebuyers to stay informed and work closely with real estate professionals to navigate the constant change. In the end, the decision to buy a home is significant, and understanding the current market dynamics, the benefits, and potential challenges can aid in making an informed decision.